All right, so let's get into things. Look, I think we're all in this together. I was talking with somebody the other day, and I know a lot of you went through the whole 2008, 2009, 2010, you know, madness. And we actually, during that time, because of mistakes made before that, we lost everything. I mean, like the house. We kept one car though. We did keep, we managed to keep one car. But, but basically we had to completely start over. But what was interesting back then was that there were other people that were going through it, a lot of other people, but it wasn't everybody. And so with this, we're all going through the same thing. We're all basically going through an economy that is being put on hold now for another 30 days. And we are all going through the same thing. So in my thinking, because we're all going through the same thing, it's not like that. It's not that. It's this is different. And when this is over and we're starting to see glimpses, although the news, if you watch the news today, you'll think that this thing's going to go until, forever. But this thing is going to be going away soon. And so we have to be vigilant. We have to be prepared. And so this webinar today is about what we need to do over the next 30, 60 days. And so that's what we're all here for today. So as we, as you know, from if you've been on any of our other webinars or come to any of our other events, you know that I'm a big mindset guy. And so we're going to start with some mindset, and then we're going to go into business tactics and strategies. Look, the older I get, I'm going to be 52 next week. And, I've been at this now for over 30 years, basically having to figure out how to be of value, how to be of service to an audience of people so that they pay me. And more and more, as I get older, I'm realizing that mindset trumps skill set all day long. We need the skill sets, but without the right mindset, none of the skill set doesn't matter. You could be the most amazing salesperson ever, just as an example, and be stuck at a certain level of income, a certain level of freedom. Same thing, you could be the most incredible craftsman, tradesman, and you could be the absolute best. I used to use, in my first book, the How to Double Your Profits book, and tell the story about the best carpet cleaner I ever knew. He was the best cleaner of carpets by far. But I approached the business in a different way. I approached the business as a sales and marketing business. And within about a year, this guy had been in business for over 10 years by the time I got into that same business. Within a year, I was making more money than he was. And I was on my way to actually having a business where I was able to, step away, not have to actually do the work myself. And that was more mindset and different skill set, sales and marketing. But really, mindset is critical here. And so that is my extended explanation of why we always start there. So about a week or two ago, a client of ours, Scott McCollum from McRoof, been in the business. I think is Scott is probably, Addie, can you check and see? I think Scott is here. Let me see. Let me just quickly see if he's here with us. He is. Scott, thank you so much. Look at, I put your face front and center so everybody sees what you look like. But he sent me a document, and it was so, well constructed. He was putting this together, and he was like, hey, is there a way that we can get this information out to people to help people? Scott went to, how could I be of value to people? Instead of hunkering down, getting scared, and rolling up into a little ball, he thought, his initial thought was, how do I help people? And so, I'm honored that he trusted me, and he sent me this document with information in it that was fantastic. And I've taken some of that information that he sent in that document, and I've put it into this webinar, and now we'll be able to get that information out and help a lot of people, which is always the hope. And I think, and again, I just wanted to say thank you to Scott, not just for providing the information, but really thinking and stepping up his game and thinking, well, how could I be of service? How could I be of value to others? That's the attitude to have right now, is how can I be of maximum value to the people around me? And we'll talk, we're going to be, this whole thing, by the way, is just about that. Okay. So again, Scott, thank you. I appreciate you. So let's move forward. All right. So you've heard me say this, and I will continue to say it. None of us can afford to think, believe, or act as if the world is coming to an end. It is not. Okay. This is temporary. The virus has changed our world today and for the foreseeable future. However, there is going to be a future, and it's going to be sooner than the news media would like everybody to believe. All right. I don't subscribe to the doom and gloom. All right. And this is your opportunity to be a leader, to come out stronger, smarter, and wealthier. Okay. This is temporary. So real quick, let me explain what this hashtag SATA is all about. So last week or the week before was when we first introduced this. And I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, to everybody I talk to, I really believe that we've got to keep our wits about us, and we've got to get through April. April is going to be the worst month of all of this. Let's just, let's lay it out. That does not mean that business for you guys, for some of you, it has stopped, but for a lot of you, there's still work being done. There are ways to make, even in cities where things are shut down. Okay, and I'm going to show you some examples, but even in cities where things are shut down, we have clients that are doing virtual consultations, clients that are selling jobs in cities that are actually shut down, right? So yes, it's not anywhere near what it was. I was speaking with somebody yesterday. I was going to do an interview with them, but we got to talking, and we were talking about so many other things. And I said, look, let's just reschedule your interview for next week. But they sold, like, they're in a state that's shut down. They sold like $30,000 yesterday. He said, Brian, when we get in front of people, our close rate is over 50%, which makes sense, but they sold $30,000 in one day. Like, okay, is that, that's okay. We could, have some more of those days and you'll cover your overhead. But anyway, so look, this whole thing, stay active through April. Keep your head in the game. Stay focused on the right things. right? Use this time, and we're going to talk about all of the different ways. I've put a ton into this webinar. We're going to go a little bit longer than an hour. I hope that's okay with you guys, but there's going to be a ton here. You're not going to be able to do all of it, all right? But the point here is that all of us need to keep our head in the game. We need to stay active through April. Now, active means a lot of different things. It's not just with our bodies and with our health. Obviously, that is the number one thing. Everybody on here has got to stay healthy, all right? And we've got to follow the guidelines. We've got to do what we've got to do to stay healthy. But we've also got to not just, stay healthy, keep our bodies active. We have to keep our minds active, and we have to stay active within our businesses. Our businesses, if you let it, your business will go away. Simple. Don't do anything, let it go away. All right? And in a month, in 2 months, 60 days, when this thing is past us, you're not going to have a business to go back to. But that's a choice. That's your choice to make. But what that's going to do for those of us that are left is it's going to take our opportunities to enormous levels. I hope that nobody on here is one of those I don't think so. You wouldn't be here on this webinar if you've given up. Okay, so this is all about stay active through April. And I'll share with you some of the stuff that we're doing at the end. I'll share with you some of the stuff that we're doing through Facebook and through YouTube. We're sharing more than ever before for the industry, so that we can all of us come out of this together, stronger, smarter, and wealthier. Okay, that's what SEDA's all about, right? So now that we've talked about that, let's dig into some of the meat here. So now is the time for leadership. Leadership. I would imagine that most everybody on this webinar today is a business owner, all right? So you have got to be a leader for your business, for your customers and your prospects, for your team, for your employees, for your staff, for your vendors, for suppliers, for subcontractors, and your community. What do leaders provide? They provide a reasoned response, not cuckoo, reasoned, okay? A place of calm, certainty, a plan for a way forward. How are we going to get through this? This is something that we have been communicating with our team, and we've managed to keep everybody except one person, okay? We've managed to keep everybody, not managed, we intentionally have done whatever we can do to keep every single person, and we are updating them on where we're at and what we are doing. We have to provide a positive view of an abundant universe. We talked about this a lot, the abundance thinking versus scarcity thinking, okay? You have to be a good leader is an abundance thinker. There's more than enough for all of us. This will pass, and there will be plenty for all of us after this is through. And another thing too, and I love this is, by the way, a lot of this came from Scott, but I love the way that this was put together. A model of personal responsibility and growth. Okay, that's who we have to be. Look, I don't know about you guys, but as business owners, we have to be all about personal responsibility. You've heard me talk about responsibility equals control, taking responsibility for every outcome that you produce, that is produced around you in your business and in your life, taking 100% responsibility for that. It's the only way that you'll ever have any measure of control over your life. The minute you start making excuses and blaming others, that's it, you've abdicated control. And so that's where personal responsibility comes in, okay? So we've got to be good leaders. Now, This is very real. What if you're not feeling it? What if you're not feeling it? Sorry, tough. Tough. You gotta fight through it. This is a test. That's all that this is. This is a test. And you have to decide on who you're going to be throughout this. And look, you're not going to feel it every day. This is tough. We went for a walk last night with our group of friends, and we were talking about how we're working harder than ever just to keep things together. Not even necessarily, this month, in April, the entire goal is to stay even, keep our head above water, right? And we're going to work harder to do that than we were in making money last month. But this is the reality of where we're at right now, all right? And so if you're not feeling it, do what you got to do, okay? Do what you got to do. And hopefully, again, with what we're going to share with you here, you'll get some good ideas that'll keep your head in the game. Got to keep your head in the game, right? So now this is all about controlling what we can, okay? Control what you can. On the left-hand side, we don't have control over what is going on with the virus. We don't have any control over that, what's happening. But what we do have control over is the thoughts we think, the beliefs we hold true, and the actions that we take. That's what we have control over, right? Don't focus on what you can't control. Focus on what you can control. So it's in times like this that we're tested. Right now, you've got to protect your confidence. You can't afford to let your guard down, not in front of your customers, not in front of your team, not in front of your family, and certainly not to your subconscious mind. You cannot allow fear to slip in, okay? You're going to fight it, and you're going to have to push it out when it comes. What if you're scared? It's okay. It's okay. But look, again, the reason I brought up 10 years ago is because, at least for me, I felt like, and it was my fault, I made a lot of mistakes. And there were other people around me who hadn't made the same mistakes I did, who were doing great. And so that was like, I looked at that and it's like, man, I did something, I messed up. And it was true to a degree. But in this case of what's going on right now, it's impacting everybody. And I don't know, that gives me a little bit of comfort, if you will, knowing that we are all in this together. It's not just me. We were doing just fine a few weeks ago. Fantastic, just like most of you. And then this thing hit us. It's okay to be scared. But, put it into context. Reach out to friends in the business. Reach out to positive people. Look for positive, good news. That's one of the things we want to do with the whole SETA thing, is I just want to share good news. Right? And I'll show you some of the things that we're doing there. I don't want to get too far into that right now, but it's all about looking for good news. It's looking for the positives through this. And again, keeping engaged. That will help alleviate some of that fear, right? So again, there is good news out there. You just have to look for it, okay? And tune into it. Okay? Look for it. Again, we are trying to do as much as we can through the Wealthy Contractor. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the chat. Sorry, guys. Addie, you're looking at the chat. I'll look at it. I'll look at it later.
Yes.
Yeah. So, because I keep seeing it blinking, that's what I thought.
Don't worry about it. I'll let you know if your immediate attention is required at any point.
Okay, cool. All right, so look, what you focus on is what's going to expand. Okay, you get to choose what you're going to focus on. Your results will follow your focus. So if you're focused on all the bad news, guess what's going to show up in your life? More and more bad news. So you've got to focus on, again, the things you can control, the thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold true, and the actions that you take. Okay, so stay the course. Stay the course. Keep moving forward. Here's what you don't want to do right now. If you can help it, don't panic. If you can help it, do not stop advertising. You may need to make some adjustments. And again, I'm having some conversations with people, and they are making some adjustments, but they're not stopping marketing. Okay? They're not stopping advertising. And certainly do not stop communicating with your customers and prospects too. We'll show you a little bit of what we're doing for our clients in a few minutes. All right, so what are some of the things you can do for your business right now? Okay, so again, there's this whole thing of fight or flight. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna fight, or are you gonna curl up in a ball and retreat? I don't know about you. I would imagine, again, most of you that are on here are in the fight camp. You're gonna fight and you're gonna see this thing through, okay? So ask yourself where you are in terms of your strengths and weaknesses in your marketplace as a company. What are your strengths and weaknesses? And this is a good thing. If people are working remotely, okay, if your team is working remotely, get them involved in some of the things that we're going to talk about here, okay? Have a meeting about what are as a team, as a company, what are our strengths and our weaknesses? And then get to work on that stuff while we've got the time, if there is time right now. I know a lot of us are working harder than ever, but there's also the opportunity where it's like, okay, look, if in the afternoon, if it's quiet, if there's not a lot going on, now's the time for us to take on some of these activities. And I'll show you some more in a few minutes. Take a look at where you are, your cash position. I'm sure everybody's done this already. I know I did it a couple of weeks ago, just to look at our cash position and see, okay, where are we in terms of taking care of our family? Where are we in terms of taking care of our business? This is very important. Cash is king, okay? And this is why, by the way, this is why I've been screaming for 2, 3, 4 years about having the right profit model. Having the right profit model. Those companies that have the right profit model, who are making money the way they're supposed to be making, remember, at least 10%, ideal 15 to 20%, those companies, they're okay right now because they got a good model. They have money in the bank, they've got some reserves, they can ride out a month or two of this crap, right? So profit model is key. Look at your personnel, look at your inventory. You want to do some planning, probably some of you have, just to understand, well, what happens if we keep going the way that things are. Hopefully none of you are considering a complete shutdown. I know there are a couple companies that have said, okay, during this period, we're going to completely shut down. I just don't know how you completely shut down and then restart again. I would rather keep looking at, okay, how do we get through the next 30, 60, 90 days, all right? One of the things that we are, and this is not Addie, did we get any information from Christian today about this, about Paycheck Protection Program?
Not yet.
So I'm sure
it sounds like it's not going to be available till Friday, or maybe even over the weekend. There's no certainty as to when the switch is going to go on.
Yeah, they're writing, I guess they're writing all of the rules and regulations and whatever they need for this. But the SBA is going to be offering, they already have the disaster loan programs in place, and I guess you could go and you can apply for those. But the one we're going to be looking at is the Paycheck Protection Program. And just look into it. I'm not an expert. I'm not going to go into it. The way that I understand it, and this is a great graphic here too, is the way I understand it. And go read about it. All you have to do is put in Paycheck Protection Program, and it'll take you to SBA.gov, and it's got all the information there that we know of so far. I believe the U.S. Chamber of Commerce also has information on this, but basically, they're going to loan us 2.5 times our average monthly payroll at a super low rate, almost free, almost free money, and no payments for 6 months. Okay, so that's going to put us all the way to the end of the year, and unbelievable, it's going to be forgivable. It's going to be forgivable. Now, so with G4 marketing, and I want to make sure I say this clear, because the other day on one of the conversations, I may have given the wrong impression when I made this comment, but I said that we've never used debt. And what I meant to say, and what I was thinking in my head was G4. So our company, G4 Marketing Group, me and Addie have never taken on debt, because that's part of the reason why we lost everything before, was because I was a dork and I didn't have a good profit model in my business before, and I kept borrowing money. And me and Addie, as business partners, said, we are never going to borrow money. We're going to grow our business through cash flow. And that's what we've done over the last 10.5 years. And it's worked, and we've not borrowed a penny. However, we have to seriously take a look at this, because we're keeping our people. Come hell or high water, we're keeping our people through this. And so this will help. So again, I don't want to beat this up. I'm not an expert on this, but look out for it. It's coming. Be ready. Talk to your banker. Set an alert on we will, as soon as we know anything, we'll post it onto our Facebook, the Wealthy Contractor Facebook. And by the way, if you haven't gone there and added yourself, what is it called technically, Addie, on Facebook, the group?
Oh, the group chat, the Facebook group.
Yeah, join the Facebook group, whatever that is. And we're posting information there as we get it.
And so just a few comments have been made on the chat. By Patrick, there is a sample application available for the Payroll Protection Program on the SBA website. Scott McCollum was mentioned that after you submit the app, you should get funding within 24 hours. I'm not sure what, the validity of this. I haven't checked it myself, but this is some of the stuff that's being shared here. Lauren Miller, go to treasury.gov for the best details and loan application. Patrick, I guess, received a spreadsheet from his accountant or his CPA to help calculate the loan amount. He can share it with the group.
Look at what Joe said. Joe Tallman is on the call. Hey, Joe. Love Joe. Listen to my conversation, by the way, with Joe on the podcast. One of my favorite people in this business. He says the portal's supposed to be set up Friday morning. So the bank must be set up with the SBA. The money will be given out on a first come, first served basis. Money will be released very quickly.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So look out for it.
Yeah.
Joe says they will run out of money, so be first in line. We've been bothering our banker, and he keeps assuring us, guys, don't worry, you're first in line. So reach out to, as soon as we're done here today, reach out to your banker.
And you know what? Something else our banker cautioned us with is that there are banks out there already accepting some applications. And his caution to us with, whether you go and do this through us or somebody else, just be cautious with these companies, because they're putting out, they're casting the net so they can approve them, but they're setting themselves up for failure because they're not going to be able to fund them. So wait till that portal is open and you can actually apply before going to these companies and starting that process before they're ready.
Right. And None of these things are supposed to have fees, and there's going to be a lot of crooks out there that are going to try and take advantage of this. So steer clear of anybody that comes to you and says, hey, I'll help you get, this and this and this. I wouldn't say stay clear of it, but just be on alert. Okay, this is being done through the SBA, through an approved lender. And if they're not an approved lender and they're charging you money to do this for you, I would make sure that, because this happened to me, by the way. I was in business and I thought, oh, I'll get an SBA loan. That's what they're for. I had no idea. I was 23 years old. This guy comes to my office, sits down with me, charges me, at the time, we're talking like the early 90s, charges me like $5,000 to help me get an SBA loan. Guess what? I never got an SBA loan, but this guy was a crook, and I didn't have $5,000 at the time. But anyway, so just be careful. All right, let's move on.
Brian, real quickly, someone requested that we share with them the sheet that Patrick mentioned to help calculate how much they will get, how much money they can get, and just wanted to let everybody know we'll make that available to them.
With the replay.
Yeah, with the replay, okay? So we'll add that spreadsheet.
Yeah, we will do that. All right, so here's some action steps. Here's some things that some of our clients are doing. Obviously we've all got to change our delivery systems to protect our people, to protect our customers, protect our partners. Virtual consultations are a thing, and people are selling from them. Drone and satellite inspections are happening, obviously teleconferencing like this, Zoom meetings, and electronic document signing. If you are not set up on this stuff, get set up on it. Zoom, relatively inexpensive. The drones and satellite inspections through Hover and Eagle View. I know Matt at Hulco is using, I think he's using, I forgot which one it was. One of those two. It's like 40 to 50 bucks for a report. So if you've got a prospect and they're interested, spending 40 to 50 bucks to get the measurements and get everything that you need in order to deliver a quote to them, do whatever it takes right now to make that happen. Obviously, we want to add scripting to set people at ease about a stranger coming to their house. What are the precautions that you are taking in order to keep your customers and your people safe? Do whatever you have to do to get work installed. I just saw here somebody said that their employees are afraid to come to work, which actually kind of surprises me. But look, and you're right. You cannot make them come to work, because if they get sick, you're going to get blamed. Who knows what will happen after that? And so, if anybody's got anybody that's here that's got any advice on that, dealing with your people that don't necessarily want to go to work, and even though you have the work, how you deal with it, put it into the chat and we'll communicate it as we go. If money is an issue with people, offer them financing. There are some very aggressive payment terms. Right now, we have a lot of clients that are using Same as Cash, 6, 12, even 24 months. You'll see an example of one in a minute. Yeah, again, sorry guys, I'm getting distracted by what's in the chat. Let me turn that off. This is also an opportunity for you to really look at your customer experience system. How are you dealing with your customers? And they should be number one. every customer you have, I mean, this is how it should normally be, but today, even more so. This is an opportunity to develop amazing customer service, create raving fans, which you know I've been talking about for years and years. Satisfied customers are a liability. We should all strive to turn an ordinary customer into a raving fan. You can get ahead of your competition with this. This one strategy alone can put you ahead of your competition, and you can transform your business to model companies, great companies, companies that you may aspire to be like. I mean, one of the companies we look at a lot is we look at Disney as a model. We look at Ritz-Carlton for our, when we put on events and things, you know, we look at these companies and we aspire to be like them. Well, this is an opportunity for you to look at your own systems. Communicate more than ever. Now is the time for communication. So like I mentioned earlier, keep your staff up to date. Right now in our office, it's empty. I'm here in my office. Addie is over there in her office on the other side of the office. Everything else, all the workstations are empty. Everybody's working at home. Well, we can't communicate, obviously, the same way we did 2 weeks ago. So what Addie has been doing is she's been doing videos, like we sent one this morning or yesterday.
Yesterday.
Kind of a state of the company, where we normally would do these. What were you normally doing them, once a month?
Well, those are being done once a quarter.
They were being done once a quarter, kind of the
But
state
I would
of the
also,
company.
yeah, since we do have a, you know, combined team, you know, some are here and some are out of state. Sometimes when it's, you know, when I want to send a message to the entire team, I've been doing those recordings just to help, you know.
Yeah, and you've been doing them not quarterly. I mean, you've already done like 3 or 4 of them.
I'm doing, yeah, at least 1 or 2 a week right now.
Yeah. So we got to keep them, you know, up to date on what's going on and where we're at. Keep advertising. You're going to hear that a few times through this. You cannot stop advertising, because what's going to happen is, look, you're going to, you know, when this is over, and it's going to be over in a month or 2, you can't afford to be the company that was not advertising and end up at the bottom of the pile and try and work your way back up. It's going to be a hard road. Whereas the companies that are still out there, that are still advertising, look, you're not going to advertise at the same rate you were before, but you've got to stay in front of your market, your community, your customers, okay? This is a time to over-communicate with customers, but in the right way. And again, I'll share some of the things that we're doing for our clients. You want to look at, what is it going to take for you to continue selling during these times, even if you are in a market that is, for all intents and purposes, shut down? So companies are using very aggressive financing. I pulled this off of, if you look at Hulco, and I think I shared I shared it with our clients, but if you just go to callhulco.com, Matt Hollander he's been awesome at sharing things that are working for them, some of the things that they're doing, but they're using aggressive finance. Look at this, no payments until 2022. I mean, it's 2 years from now, right? That's the same as Cash 24-month program. Look at your warranties. How can you offer better, longer warranties? How do you, like, one of the things that we're doing for our clients is we are doing more email communication, and the email communication that we're using is relevant to what's going on right now. We've kind of stopped all of the regular communications that we do in order to make sure that we are communicating in a way that goes with the times. Ask for referrals. You know, use whatever medium, depending on the type of company that you are. If you have to sit down and write personal letters, personal thank you notes, and you and your team have the time, do it. Send out thank you notes to your clients. Let them know that you're still there. Make sure your internet presence is intact and it's still out there. And this is where the advertising come in. And then leverage your personal and professional networks and associations. This is where, you know, don't do this alone. Go talk to go talk to your colleagues, go talk to people that sell the same product that you do and see what other people are doing, right? Some of the stuff that you could do is share added value content. You know, that's some of the stuff that we're doing. That's what this is right here. This is really G4 Marketing, our main company. You know, we're a relationship marketing company. But I'm not here talking to you guys only about, you know, relationship marketing. I'm talking to you about what are all of the other things that we could be doing in order to get through these times. So the way that we are able to do that through the channels that we have available to us is to do this value added content. Well, how can you do that now for your customers? Write tips for your customers and prospects, home improvement tips. Don't do this whole long out, you know, drawn out thing, but just share some simple tips of what people can do during this time. If you have a blog, share some best practices, some consumer awareness messages. This one's interesting. Reach out to local personalities about how you are helping with relief efforts. What are some of the things that your company is doing? And make sure that people know that you are part of their community, that your company is part of that community. I mean, some of the things that we're doing for our clients is saying we're open for business. You know, we may be open virtually, but we are open for business. One of the things here that is critical is we need our customers more than ever before. And I've talked about this for years, about getting ready, about making sure that you've got sticky customer relationships. Why have I been talking about this? Because when things slow down, and again, that was never meant to be doom and gloom talk. It was always opportunity talk. We are going to rely on our customers more than ever. And when this starts back up again in May, which it's looking like things are going to start turning back on in May, who do we go to first for leads and for sales, right? We're going to go to our past customers. We're going to go to everybody that we have done business with within a reasonable amount of time. Well, look, if you weren't communicating with them, if you were a one and done company and you just did the job and you left, chances are good that by now they've forgotten about who you are. And so you may want to use this time to re-engage with them. Be careful how you do it. If you haven't communicated with your customers in a year or two, the message that you send them has to be a message of value, not a pitch. You have to start with value, value, value. In fact, you can use that kind of as a rule. 3 pieces of value, 1 piece of offer, okay? That's for old customers that you've not communicated with. If you've done a good job communicating with your customers like our clients have, that's what they pay us for, many of them for 10 plus years, right? Who is going to help them get through this? We're going to go to those customers, and we're already, with our clients, we're already putting that strategy together for the next 30, 60 days because we know we need them. And so we're timing things and we're dripping things out in a way that we know, okay, when things start to open up again and confidence goes back up again, which it will in the next 30, 60 days, those are the people that are going to help us initially with leads, with sales, with referrals. So you've got to be doing the same. So stay in touch so you stay top of mind. Stay in touch so you stay top of mind. right? Direct mail right now. So we're talking about a lot of email marketing right now, but we're also talking about direct mail. Now, depending on where you are, so if you're in a state that is shut down, you may want to wait a couple weeks for direct mail. If you're in a state that's still working, use direct mail. People are home. This is a unique opportunity to touch your customers. Because again, remember, you've got to stay top of mind. Continue promoting your solutions and let them know, hey, we are open for business. Deliver inspiration. Don't deliver bad news, deliver good news, all right? And ask for referrals. Now, one of the absolute best ways to communicate with a customer base is through a company newsletter. And so for our clients, we do the Happy Home Gazette newsletter. That's going to be going out throughout the month of April to our clients' customers. And newsletters are an amazing way of talking to customers in a way that's engaging, entertaining, and not threatening. Okay? Do we put offers in there? You bet you we do. Do we put aggressive offers in there? You bet we do. But it's in a wrapper that is very friendly. It gets opened. People look at it. And look, again, if you're a G4 client, this is already being done for you. Okay? If you are not a G4 client, look, you could go do this on your own. You can have somebody else do it. You know, if you want to talk to us about it. But this is meant to be informative. This is the things that we are doing. And I'm telling you, on the other side of this, those companies that do not have a newsletter, a way that they are physically in the mailbox, keeping in touch with their customers in a way that's not constantly, give us more money, give us more money, give us more money, those companies are going to be more profitable and more successful on the other side of this. I absolutely believe that. It's from being in business for so many years, okay? And working with we worked with hundreds of companies, you know, out there, and we've seen them come and go. Customers are critical, and your relationship with them is more important than ever before. Again, some of the things that we're doing, we're still sending out thank you packages every day. We're still sending out thank you packages. We still are sending out emails and direct mail. We want to continue staying in touch with those customers. You guys can do the same thing. Again, whether we do it or you do it or somebody else does it at this point right now does not matter. What matters is it gets done. Okay? Referrals. Now, right now, it's tough to get referrals. This is not the perfect time, but if you're doing jobs already for people, that is a huge opportunity for you right now to get referrals more than ever before. And so you've got to ask for them, make it easy, have a reward program in place, make sure that you're rewarding people. One of the things that we're doing for our clients is we're doing a two-step. So the first step is if you send us a referral and we meet with that person, only meet with them regardless of outcome, we're going to send you X, whatever that amount is. Okay? It doesn't have to be a huge amount, by the way. That's level one. But if you send us a referral and they become a customer within the next 60 days, we're going to give you your choice of this, this, or this. And we're doing cool stuff that's, you know, worth like up to $500. AirPods, Apple Watch, gift cards, kinds of stuff, right? Because at this point, we want those leads, we want those referrals. All right, now, So that's all. So if you look at everything that we just talked about, that's all stuff right now that's going on. It's about, how are we making leads? How are we making sales? How are we getting work installed? Present, right now, over the next few days or the next few weeks. What are some things, though, that you can do for the business that will improve your business when we come out of this? That'll have your business be a new, better, what is it? New and improved. The new and improved version of your current business. So now is a time for a complete overhaul. Okay, look at your entire system from start to finish. Now I'm going to give you some things to look at here in a minute, but look at your entire system from start to finish and look for ways to improve and or optimize your performance. Okay, so here are some things to take action on. Lead generation. Okay, analyze the efficacy and the profitability of every single lead source that you have. Go back, look at history. Okay, set up better systems going forward. I was talking with somebody the other day, and we were talking about tracking phone numbers. What exactly? I can't remember the detail, but there was a few different things going out, different forms of advertising going out. And I said, but wait, you're using the same phone number on all of them. How are you going to know what's what? And it's like, it's one of those things that we don't think about a lot. Is tracking phone numbers and making sure that every single thing that goes out has a different unique phone number on it so we can track. One of the other things to put into place is the second question in your scripting. So the first question is always, well, how did you hear about us? Okay. And based on the answer, which a lot of times, so look, if somebody says TV, radio, if they're very specific, I saw your ad in, or I saw you on TV, or I heard you on the radio, or, if they're very specific, okay, let's do that. But what if somebody says internet? What if somebody says internet? Most people will just chalk it up to internet instead of asking the second question, which is, well, did you start on the internet? Or did you start somewhere else and were taken to the internet? That's really important information that you need to know, because maybe they saw that ad in the newspaper or wherever, in a magazine, and from that, instead of calling you, they went to the internet first to check you out, then they called. So you got to do that. You got to do the same thing with referrals too, by the way. If somebody says, oh, somebody told me about you. Okay, well, who's the somebody? Why do you want to know this? You don't want to just put it referral. You want to know who that person is. Why? So you can send that person a thank you, right? Even if it's just a phone call. Ideally, it's a thank you card with a check or a gift card, something in it to acknowledge that that person made a referral. But the only way you're going to find that out is if you ask the second question. Okay, so now is a time for you to look at that, and if you didn't have it before, build it in now. What other lead sources are available to you that haven't been tested yet? What are things have you been thinking about doing, but maybe haven't got around to? Or what are the other things that you haven't even thought of that are available in your market? Now's the time to look into that stuff and possibly set up a test for May or June when we're hopefully through this. Do you know who your ideal target customer is? Do you know where they live? Do you know what kind of work they do? Do you know what magazines they read? Do you know what kind of cars they drive? Do you know how much money they make? This is all information that is valuable. Have you done a pushpin map of where all of your customers live, all of the jobs that you've done? If you were to do this, what's interesting is you're going to find clusters. And when you find clusters, that's going to give you a really good idea of where you need to start turning up your marketing or where your marketing is being most effective. right? The other part of that is your messaging, what you say in your ads, designed to attract that ideal customer? It's a critically important piece of the marketing puzzle, is what is that message that you're using to attract that person to your business and get that lead? What is your process for web leads? Because there's the possibility there that there's a lot of people falling through the cracks, or some people falling through the cracks. So if it's 1 or 2 people a week that are falling through the cracks in that process, that adds up at the end of the year, okay? And then do you have an inbound lead script? So when somebody calls into the office, do you have a script designed to convert that person into an appointment? Okay. If you do, can it be improved? Okay. Because look, next week, within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do a webinar just on the numbers you need to know in your business. Okay. We're going to focus just on numbers you need to know in your business. Okay. But there's a critical number in this business, and that number is the number of raw inquiries that come in that get converted to an appointment. It's a critical number in this business. And so we've got to look at that. And that is all about scripting and how and who's answering the phone, how well your script performs, how well that person is trained. Believe it or not, that person is a salesperson. Okay, that person is making a sale. They're not selling the job. They're not selling the company. They're selling the appointment. Okay, critical number in this business. Look at sales. What happens between the time an appointment is created and the lead is run? Is there room for improvement there? Can we get in front of more people? Is your sales process scripted? Do you have a step selling system? Okay. I'm not going to tell you what the right number is. It's different for other people. I know my buddy John teaches a 10-step system. Joe, I think, Joe Tallman's also on a 10-step system, I believe. By the way, speaking again of Joe Tallman, listen to the podcast, the most recent one with Joe. You can listen to the other one too, that was great. But the most recent one with Joe, he gave us a huge selling lesson in that conversation of how to deal with things that are going on right now. But this is an opportunity for you to look, it's an overhaul, look at the entire system step by step and see where can we make improvements. Do you have regular sales meetings? Look, right now, maybe you don't have a lot of salespeople that are running, but are you keeping them engaged? And when this comes back online, are you going to go, are your sales meetings going to look like? Are you doing sales training? I know all of my top clients have some form of sales training that's going on just about every day in their businesses. All right. This is serious. This is a business, we're going to, I talk a lot about bidding versus selling. Which camp are you in? Are you out there bidding jobs or are you out there selling jobs? Because home improvements, they need to be sold. Bidding is a formula for not making any money and working your ass off. Selling is the way that this business is done. You've got to be selling. So also, are all of your salespeople using the same playbook? The only way that you will be able to measure profitability and efficiency and efficacy is if everybody's on the same playbook, if everybody is working off of the same script. Okay. Customer experience. So look at every single interaction that you have with a customer and ask yourself at each interaction point, what can I do? Or what can we do as a company at this interaction point so our customer can't help but say, wow. Right? So our customer can't help but say, wow. And maybe most importantly, study your current profit model. What was good about it? Or what is good about it? What isn't? What wasn't? Were you earning at least a 10% net profit after everything and everyone is paid? If not, now is the time to review it, reevaluate it. Look, after this, you're likely going to have to raise prices. I think almost everybody's going to have to take a really hard look at their pricing. And so if you do have to raise pricing, and this is one of the areas that most people in this business aren't charging enough, and getting people to change that mindset is one of the hardest things that I have to do in the business. And the people that get it and they understand, hey, I have to charge the right amount of money in order for me to be able to deliver the product or service the right way, the way that the customer deserves, the way that, and pay my people what they deserve, and pay myself what I deserve, and make sure that the company at the end of all of that has a profit. Because look, my clients right now that had their profit model in place, I listened to the conversation I had with Patrick Reddy-off at Pond Roofing. The last 2 years, that guy has been vigilant about his profit and making sure that his profit model was right. And guess what? He's in a strong cash position. He's going to ride this out, and he's going to come out of this on top, because a lot of companies that he's competing against had a crappy profit model. And guess what? I hate to say it, but some of those people aren't going to be in business. They might not be in business right now, but they're certainly not going to be in business 4 weeks from now. But guess what? He is, and he's got the cash to do it. And that's because he had the right profit model. And guess what? At the end of the day, for those of you that are squeamish about making the right amount of profit, which is minimum 10%, ideally 15 to 20%, think about it. If you were set up that way for the last year, and then even going into this year, the profitability that you had from last year to this year should have you in a very strong cash position, so that not only you can ride this out, but you take care of your customers and you take care of your people. Okay? So if you're looking at profit as, oh, I can't charge that much, I can't make that much, then you're not doing anybody any good by not charging enough and not making enough money. And you're certainly not taking care of your customers, your team, and maybe more importantly, your family. Okay? I hate to be harsh about this, but now is the time to look at it, and now is the time to make a definitive decision. Because you got to look at, what camp are you in? Do you believe that your future is created by what you, from your imagination and from your aspirations? Or do you believe that life just happens? It just happens, and I'll just react to whatever's happening. Well, guess what? Most entrepreneurs, the successful ones, are in the first camp. So while these are uncertain times, and look, the vision of what you wanted may be derailed. Okay, I know our vision was. Look, our first quarter was going to be the most amazing first quarter we've ever had. Our second quarter was going to be even better and bigger. Well, guess what? It got derailed temporarily. So we got to deal with that. But you know what? We're still in charge of shaping what the next quarter, the next 2 quarters, the next 3 quarters, the next year looks like by what we think up here. This is the time to bring your new ideas forward. This is the time to launch new objectives and look at all of the pieces and parts that we've been talking about, to be proactive and resourceful and useful to other people. Useful to other people. That's a huge piece of it. Where did this all start from? Scott. And Scott is still delivering value in the chat. He said, stand on quality, integrity, and unequaled customer experience and charge for it. It costs you to hire and deliver those things to the marketplace, so get paid for it. He's still delivering value. Okay? And man, I appreciate that. By the way, Scott, you got to do one of the videos, the 1-minute videos. Addie, send him the link. He's got to do one of those, one of the SETA videos for us. So look, right now, you have 3 options. Okay? You can look at this as a temporary setback, make the adjustments as needed, and keep moving forward. Okay? That's fight. Or there's flight. You know, look at this as defeat and shut down your mind, your business, everything in fear. Okay? Now, those are the only 2 options I like. You know why? Because they're both decisions. The third option is to just kind of keep playing it by, well, what's going to happen to me today? What's going to happen to me tomorrow? No. If you're going to fight, fight. Do all the things. Do the things that we've listed here. Talk to other people. This is by no means a definitive list of things that to do. This could be used as a starting point, okay? As what you can do moving forward. So through this time, okay, and I'm going to be open for questions. So if you guys have any questions at all, put them either into the chat or the Q&A. Addie will feed them to me, and I'll do my best. If I don't have an answer, I'll have somebody that I can refer you to that will get us an answer, okay? So don't go at this alone. We are all in this together. Do your best to stay out of your head. Fill your mind with positive thoughts. Look, in every moment, every thought that comes into your head, you have a choice. You have a choice of taking that in, and if it's a thought of fear, you can let it rest. You can let it percolate. It's a seed, and it's going to start to grow in your head. Or you can reject it, and you can look for a positive thought to replace it with and move forward in faith. Those are your 2 options. You're either going to keep moving forward in faith, or you're going to shut down in fear. That's it. That's all you got right now, okay? So be vigilant about what goes inside of your head. Take care of yourself. Get sleep. Sleep right now is critical. If you're feeling stress, if you're feeling anxiety, I get it. But you've got to sleep. So do what it takes to make sure that you get a good night's sleep. Do not give up. Again, don't let the negative thought come in. This is temporary. This is going to pass. Yes, it feels ugly right now. Yes, you might be a little bit scared. We all are, but keep moving forward. It's going to be fine, okay? There is going to be demand on the other side. Look, maybe the demand is not going to be quite what it was a month ago, but the demand is going to be there. Okay, look at all the things they're doing to keep people employed. And yes, the numbers are nuts, but people are still going to be employed. People are going to get back to work when we're over, and hopefully it's going to start back up in May. And are you going to be prepared? Okay, there is going to be demand on the other side. And ultimately, at the end of the day, this is going to make us all better. We're having to do things and come up with solutions that, quite frankly, and we got to do them quick, that we weren't doing. We were focused on, we had our other plans. We use EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System. So we had our rocks set for this quarter. Well, guess what? We've had to adjust some of those because this quarter didn't end the way it started. And the next quarter that we're going into today, quarter two is going to be tough, right? It's going to be tough. Sales are going to be hopefully not much lower, but they're going to be lower. And we're going to have to, there's some stuff that we're going to have to deal with that we haven't had to deal with in a long time. Well, guess what? That's going to make you more resilient. That's going to make you better. And if you look at all your processes and systems, look at your profit model, you look at customer experience, look at your lead gen, you could do all of those things in this time. When we come out of this, you're going to be, again, you're going to be stronger, you're going to be smarter, and you're going to be wealthier at the end of the day. Okay. So this is your opportunity. Create a new vision for your company. Recommit yourself to being the best that you can be. Work on personal development and becoming a better leader. You have a choice in this. Okay. We keep talking about it. You can either emerge as a victor or you fall as a victim. It's entirely up to you. The 7 Secrets book is, you could still get a copy basically for free. Okay, if you just go to The Wealthy Contractor, if you don't have a copy of it, get one. TheWealthyContractor.com. All I ask, I bought the book. All I ask is for you to pay shipping and handling. By the way, I lose money every single one that I send out. The shipping and handling is just to help me recover at least the postage cost. But I do this because I believe in the message of the book, and I'm trying to help as many people as I can navigate their way through this business we call home improvements. All right. Addie.
Yes, I saw Russ's.
Are you good? Okay, come on, everybody. Okay, moment of levity. Russ Doricott, by the way, Russ I've known for years and years and years. If you've not heard that name, Russ is probably of people that you've never heard of before, one of the smartest marketers in this business. And do you want to read what he said?
Yes, I'm taking Brian's advice and going to take a nap. But we do have some questions, Brian. Are we ready to answer some of those?
Sure.
Awesome. So Julie York asks, what software or app is best for plotting customers on a push pin map?
So Julie, you know, Google Maps used to have that feature, and I don't believe they have it anymore. Just go to, there are paid ones that you can go to, and for you guys it may be worth paying. If it's 40 or 50 bucks, it might be worth paying, but there are free options. So just go online and search for I think it's map plotting software free, something like that. And you'll find a lot of options. Oh, Russ said Measure Map is a free app. Measure Map.
Great. Joe Talman asks if we have a contact at Mosaic.
We do. Mike, did he not call you, Joe? I'm gonna kill that guy. I will.
It's Mike what?
I think it's Mike McConnell. Hold on a second.
And we'll also include this in the follow-up email, correct, Brian?
Yeah. We'll find it. Joe, I'm gonna when we're done, I'll call him, get his contact information, and tell him to give you a call right away.
Brian, we also have a question from Brian Diamond. Most of our lead gen was face-to-face, so we are pushing those dollars towards digital. Where would you push the majority of the spend, PPC or social? And do you have a favorite vendor?
So yeah, you got to be careful right now with PPC spend and social. Social, I'm still not convinced social delivers a lot of ROI and enough to really make leads. What's working on social, by the way, is sweepstakes entries. So we're giving away a $50,000 home remodel. You can drive people into top of the funnel. I've done this for companies before. It's a top funnel, and then you got to nurture that group, and then it will deliver leads at the bottom. It is a pretty sophisticated system. Not a lot of companies are set up to do it, because when you do a when you do a sweepstakes, it's not a real lead. It's somebody that needs to be converted into a lead through careful scripting, email, texting, and all of that. That, if you wanted to put something like that together, I'll deliver you to the same resource. The only people in this industry that I really trust with digital and internet marketing is Socius, SOCIUS. I think you know them. But we'll put Ted's information, Ted Causel, that's who you want to go talk to. Addie, if you have Ted's information, can you give it to Brian right now in the chat?
Yeah.
What else?
That's all the open questions I have. Let's see, Jerry Murray, would anyone be willing to provide an example of a 10-point sales script?
Ooh, I don't know. I can refer you to my buddy John Anglis that will build one for you. I don't think, it depends on what you are selling. That's going to make a difference.
Russ Doricott says that he will to have him.
Oh, okay, cool. That's nice of you, Russ.
Okay. And Scott.
Oh, and Scott also. Look at this, man. See, everybody is like stepping up to help each other.
Well, let me add this comment that Scott McCollum added in the chat to me earlier. It was a quote by Bill Gates, and it says, "Our jobs are not what we were created for. They are what we do. We were created to help one another, to care for one another, and to be of value to one another." So in that spirit, thank you all, for being open and helpful to one another at this time.
Yeah. The mapping software, someone's asking, Peter is asking, what is the name of the mapping software? Measure Map. That's not what I'm familiar with. That's somebody gave that as a referral. Oh, there. Okay. Thanks, Brian. Brian has provided Mike's email address.
Here, let me put it out to the group. It's Mike at Mosaic. It's Mike O'Connell. So you were very close, Brian.
Also put Chuck's information in there as well at Service Finance.
Okay.
So here's an answer, Brian Diamond. Here's another, this is good information for everybody. If your lead gen was canvassing or trade shows, I would strongly urge shifting to direct mail as opposed to strictly online. And yes, that's what we're doing with our clients as well. We're doing email marketing. Many of our clients actually already work with Socius, so they're already running PPC campaigns, but we are also doing a ton of direct mail for our clients. All right. So Addie, do you see any more? Are there any more?
I don't see any other questions.
Okay. So look, everybody. So SETA, stay active through April. Go to Facebook, The Wealthy Contractor. Like us there, I believe. If you like us, then all of our stuff will start to show up in your feed. What we're trying to do here, this is kind of our mantra for going forward, is SETA, stay active through April, stay active through April. We have got, we're releasing podcast episodes where I'm talking with people and just getting a sense of what's going on. I'm asking them, what are you thinking, what are you feeling, and what are you doing right now? Getting really good information from them, and a lot of uplifting, a lot of encouragement from the people that we're talking to. We're also posting videos. So anybody that's on here right now, so especially like Scott and Russ Doricott and Joe Tallman and all of the other people that I'm sorry, there's there's a lot of people on here, so it's hard for me to see everybody that is here that I know. But if you've got an encouraging message, please go to, where do they go, Addie? They could just go to.
I put it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
It's in the
So,
chat.
okay, so go look at the chat, go to that link, upload a 1 minute or less video to us of encouragement, and or what are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you doing? And we will be delivering those out through the Wealthy Contractor under the hashtag SETA. Okay, stay active through April. If we can help you in any way at G4 Marketing, let us know. Let us know. There's no obligation, you know, especially at this time. We're not pushing hard to sell anybody anything, although we do have people that are joining us and want us to take over their relationship marketing for them. But if you just want advice on what are some things that whatever you need, just reach out to us. You can go to our website, g4marketing.com. That's GFOUR marketing.com. If you use the number 4, you're not going to get us, you'll go somewhere else. GFOURmarketing.com, or you can send Pete an email, pete@g4mg.com, or call our office, 305-856-8788. All right, and we are here to help. We are open. Our staff is working. We are busy working hard for our clients and for all of you. So whatever we can do, let us know.
And you know what, Brian, if I could add something to, the purpose of the Wealthy Contractor and in this community is to help business owners achieve more success, wealth, and freedom. And I'd love to ask a favor of everyone. If you have experienced value by being a part of this community, we would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word. We want to help as many people as possible. Nobody should be going through this alone. So if you have friends that that you think could benefit from being a part of the community, could you direct them to www.gfourmarketinggroup.com? Simply select the Wealthy Contractor bottom at the top of the page and enter their information, and they'll also start receiving invitations to webinars and announcements about podcast releases. So yeah, if they could help us out, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and important, there's nothing to buy.
Yes, nothing to buy. It's all free resources.
Okay. Yeah, nothing to buy. All right, cool. So, Jeff Klein, are you talking to me, Brian, to call me this afternoon after? I'm not taking a nap. Russ is taking a nap. Okay, yeah, Jeff, it'll be late this afternoon, but I'll call you. All right. All right, so to all of you, thank you so much. There will be a replay of this available. We'll also probably load it onto the podcast platform as well, just to get it out there. And in the next couple of weeks, look out, we'll be doing more webinars. There are a lot of webinars happening, by the way, this afternoon. If you haven't signed up for it already, Chris at Socius is doing a webinar series. And it's called Prevail. I think, I forgot it's lead. Addie, do you know what the URL? It's lead. Okay,
I think I have it in my
summit.
Hold on.
Something. If you're not signed up for it, go get signed up for it. There is a webinar this afternoon at 2:00, and one next week, and I think the one and a week after. I think I'm on next week. Or the week after. No, I think, whatever. But there's a lot of great content there, and a lot of this stuff, and practical stuff of what people are doing, right now. All right. Oh my God, Addie, what? There's a guy named Tom Papa.
I know, I saw that.
Oh my God, Tom, I don't know who you are, but there is a comedian named Tom Papa, but with an A, P-A-P-A, on Netflix. Oh my, he's our new favorite. We love this guy.
Yeah, he's our new
so
favorite.
funny. You probably know about him already, but for those of you that don't, go check this guy out. You're doing great. Great. What is it?
Yeah,
Great. You're
great.
doing great. You want to look at this. It's really funny. Really, really funny. Oh, it's Lead Summit. What is it? LeadSummitSeries.com. LeadSummitSeries.com.
I'm going to put
Okay.
the link real quickly on the chat so people can go to it directly.
Okay. Somebody just got some information from their banker and they're going to forward it to me. So whatever we will post it all on with the replay of this. All right, everybody. So again, we're all in this together. Keep your head in the game. Stay focused on the right things. We will get through this. This is temporary. It's just a setback. It's just a setback. That's all that it is. We're going to be fine at the end of this. Keep your wits about you. Keep your head in the game. Stay the course. Keep moving forward. Believe in yourself, and don't be afraid to reach out for help. There's plenty of people out there that are willing to help, that want to help. Take advantage of that. Don't go through this alone. All right. So thank you all, and we will be back in touch very, very soon with more webinars, more podcasts, more videos, all that stuff. All right. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.